Welcome, y'all.
Kalosirtate.
Välkommen.
Hola, bienvenidos a Avenues the World School.
Irashayose.
Tungasuvi.
Salut et bienvenue.
Welcome to Avenues.
We're excited to have you join us in 2018.
Asha, Oseyo.
Willkommen. Wir freuen uns sehr, ihn hier zu haben.
Bonveno.
Marhaba bikum fil Madrasa Avenues the World School.
Shalom.
Bem-vindo a Avenues.
Binat Vinit Bunaziwa.
Taijahao, Huaini, Laidao, Avenues.
Vitami.
Benvenute a tutti.
Bem-vindos.
E cabo.
Tereguanhe poranke.
Dobro Bajalevit.
Namaste.
Bom minuti.
Ayubowan.
Dobrodošli.
Grüezi miteinander.
Sejam todos muito bem-vindos à nossa comunidade escolar da Avenues.
Aloha.
Welcome to your new school. Less than 9 months ago, on March 16th, we announced Avenue São Paulo at an event at Casa Lozano. How many of you were there? Quite a few. We had high hopes for Avenues that day, but we could not imagine the degree to which Avenues has resonated with parents in this great city. From that day to today, we have been inundated with interest. Lisa Peixoto and her wonderful admission team have been overwhelmed, and here you see the reality tonight. The parents of over 500, approaching 600 students that we will welcome to Avenues in August 2018, with hundreds more expected to enroll between now and the opening of school. Yes, Avenue São Paulo will be one of the most successful new school openings anywhere in the world. And no parent body that we know of in this city or anywhere is as interesting as you. Your interest in something new, something larger in scope for your children, your energy is very much like the world itself, talented, diverse, creative, and I think above all, aspirational. Your Avenues history begins tonight. You're now members of the Avenues community. You are the first families of Avenues São Paulo. In virtually all schools, you walk into someone else's culture, a culture that is often decades or even centuries old and often doesn't reflect today's values or potentiality. But here it is you who will have the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to help establish the culture of our school. Yes, every class of parents and students that follows you will contribute to our culture, but none with the lasting imprint of our first families. And I'd ask you just to look around this room. The people in this room, all drawn together by the promise of this school, will become some of your closest friends. Over the years, you will return to the memory of tonight's event, and then the first day of school, the first Avenues Parent Association meeting, the first big game, the first magical performance, and the first graduation, and on and on. You are beginning a lifetime of Avenues first tonight. Over the next 25 minutes, we're going to fill you in on who will be teaching your children, on new innovations in our educational program, on the progress and completion of your beautiful Cidade Jardim campus, and of the importance of community at Avenues. So it's in that light that I will turn the podium over to your head of school, Ham Clark, now a proud Paulistano, and thank you again for joining us on this once-in-a-lifetime adventure of bringing Avenues São Paulo to life.
Thank you, Alan. Boa noite. Hello, everyone. It is so great to see you all here again. My job is to give you an update on the most important part of your school, your new faculty. We've now hired over 50, more than half of the faculty who will begin with us in August. And it's been an incredibly thorough process to select the very best candidates from over 3,000 resumes we've received to date from all over the world. And I must say that in my 30 years of hiring teachers, I have never seen a stronger or more talented group of teachers coming together to create our faculty. Several of our new hires have PhDs, and most have earned master's degrees or the equivalent. Nearly half of our new hires will be expats, many Americans, but also leading teachers from around the world. And we are also attracting outstanding local teachers. Thus far, in fact, 22 of our faculty members are either past or present teachers from Santa Cruz, Veracruz, Monteranchis, Graded, Chapel, St. Francis, and St. Paul's. In our view, these teachers are among the very best of the best in São Paulo. Many of our new faculty are still at their current schools, so out of respect, we will not be announcing their names until sometime next semester. But let me tell you about 4 that we can announce tonight that are emblematic of the entire faculty that we are assembling. Ana Paula Georgian is a scientist with a PhD in geology from UCLA. Ana is also an accomplished environmentalist, having led Earthwatch in Brazil. She has a great heart and a great way with children, and will move from running NGOs to teaching your little ones science in Avenue's primary division. Thomas Anderson was chair of the math department at Episcopal High School in Virginia, one of the top independent schools in the U.S., when he was accepted to Columbia Teachers College for a master's program. While in New York, he had the opportunity to intern with the math team at Avenues, and he very positively impressed them. When he returned to Episcopal, he took their top students to a year-long program in Viterbo, Italy, and he will join us to teach math in the secondary division. Merrill Murphy. Merrill has a dual master's in childhood and special education in one of our is one of our outstanding assistant division heads at Avenues in New York. She's leading a team of 16 teachers that build, plan, and implement our engaging curriculum for our kindergarten, first, and second grade students. In the global spirit of Avenues, Merrill has been eager to relocate overseas. So she and her husband and their 2-year-old daughter, Poppy, will be moving from Manhattan to take on a similar role with us here in Avenues, São Paulo. And finally, Paola Ricci. Paola will be our primary division design thinking teacher. Paola is a Brazilian, but she graduated from the School of the Environment at McGill University in Canada and went on to specialize in childhood education and social development. Paola, who actually started one of the first coding schools in Brazil, is currently finishing her master's program in instructional technology and media at Columbia through a Lamont Fellowship, and she just presented at the Fab Learn conference at Stanford University. So these are just a few of what will be a truly amazing and accomplished faculty who will be teaching and mentoring your children. They're going to be joined by a student support team of exceptional occupational and speech therapists, language support teachers, and a school psychologist. Over the coming weeks and months, we will continue to inform you of our growing faculty, and I know that you, like me, will be impressed with these talented teachers. So enough about me, on to a student.
Me ajuda a ler esse e-mail aqui, que eu não tô...
Bem-vindos a Avenues, Renata e Ricardo. Parabéns, temos a hora de convidar você e sua família para fazer parte da comunidade da Avenues, São Paulo. Queremos dar as boas-vindas a Rafaela Correia Cubas. Eu passei! Eu amei!
Acredito que não seja uma surpresa para vocês o fato de que a Avenues é uma escola que tem o conceito de inovação como um de seus valores fundamentais. Eu suspeito que esta seja a razão pela qual muitos de vocês estejam aqui essa noite. Muito das revolucionárias práticas e ideias que temos implementado, como integração tecnológica, aprendizagem interdisciplinar, imersão e aprendizagem baseada em projetos, quando combinadas, fazem com que a Avenues seja uma escola realmente única. Em minha opinião, todas essas práticas constituem grande parte da razão pelo qual eu e meus colegas fomos atraídos por esse incrível projeto educacional. Especialmente nessa noite, eu gostaria de apresentar a vocês algo que talvez ainda não tenham tido a oportunidade de conhecer, que é o nosso Departamento de Pesquisa e Desenvolvimento, sediado em Nova York. Uma equipe que trabalha lado a lado aos professores, famílias e estudantes para desenvolver uma nova geração de práticas educacionais. Os membros dessa equipe têm históricos notáveis, contam com doutorados em Harvard e anos de experiência na área de educação tecnológica e análise de dados. O principal foco desse departamento é trazer a educação para o século XXI, compreender o que funciona e o que não funciona na forma como educamos nossos estudantes, e assim trabalhar com os professores para desenvolver ideias novas e melhores, testando-as em pequenos grupos, avaliando-as e, por fim, implementando-as. O objetivo é simples: como de fato podemos preparar os estudantes para o presente e para o futuro. Essa noite, eu e Cristine temos a honra de apresentar o Avenues World Elements. Pela primeira vez, uma escola define o seu currículo com base nos resultados de aprendizagem essenciais e permanentes que formarão cada um de seus estudantes, seus filhos. E o Avenues World Elements coloca vocês diante de um formato educacional inovador. Gostaria de apresentar a vocês Ty Tingley, principal arquiteto do Avenues World Elements. Ty recebeu seu doutorado pela Harvard's Graduate School of Education e foi o primeiro Head of School da Avenues New York. Agora ele é Chief Education Officer da Avenues e lidera os projetos de pesquisa e desenvolvimento da Avenues em todo o mundo.
The curricula that we teach in schools in this country and in most of Western Europe and around the world has actually been in existence for well over 100 years. And that curriculum was designed for an age that didn't have the internet, didn't have the science that we had today. And in fact, it was designed in an age when people were trying to train young people to either take jobs in factories or be the managers of factories who oversaw production lines and things like that. And that's why there's that production line quality in most traditional curriculum. You have a sense that it doesn't really matter what the bigger purpose of your learning is as long as you do it in the sequence that it's been laid out for you. The students lose the understanding of how the various disciplines and how the world is interconnected. It makes it more difficult for them to solve the kind of complex problems that adults have to solve. But I also think you just lose interest. What's happening in the brain when people are receiving stimuli of various types. All of that research leads very clearly to the importance of project-based learning, interactions, of giving up the old assembly line model of education and replacing it with something that's more effective and much better suited for the century that the kids that are in our school today are going to be living in. If we can describe every element in the known universe on the periodic table of the elements, and not just describe the elements, but also give you clues about how they'll interact, we ought to be able to do the same thing with the Avenues curriculum. The Avenues World Elements is our effort to describe on one piece of paper the minimum educational outcomes that all Avenues graduates will have when they are handed their diploma on their final day at Avenues. Avenues is unusual as a school. In fact, it's the only school I know of that has an R&D staff. And this group came together about 14 months ago to try to look at our curriculum and set down our educational objectives in a compact and yet very flexible way. What this tells a parent or a student is, here's what we're going to accomplish. The descriptions of classes may give you a sense of what books are read or how the class is conducted, but it doesn't spend a lot of time talking about, and here's what your child is going to take away when they leave that class. This focuses on outcomes. The fact that these outcomes are clearly stated and the fact that they encourage interdisciplinary work, we think is going to enhance the faculty's ability to imagine successful projects that will bring the students to these various points, and we'll just give them a very clear sense of direction. At some point in the future, in a decade or more, people will look back at what we're doing in this regard and say, you know, this is really a remarkable change in education. There'll be books, there'll be videos, there'll be publications that detail the way we've organized it, because we've been thoughtful about it, and the students are going to profit from it enormously.
Boa noite. É um prazer estar aqui compartilhando com vocês algumas das luzes que iluminam nossa Avenues. Este começo comporta a expectativa e a alegria de trazer vida a sonhos comuns. Todos nós fomos crianças um dia, e todos nós sabemos que a infância é um tempo de admiração sem fim. A criança olha para o céu e se encanta com os pássaros e as estrelas, tentando descobrir o mundo em pequenos pedaços e a cada instante. A capacidade de admirar parece diminuir com o passar da idade e dos anos. Mas eu, em meus 60, experimentei novamente a admiração quando pela primeira vez deparei com o Elements da Avenues. A antiga tabela que estudamos nas aulas de química do colégio subitamente me fez lembrar das estrelas da infância. E por quê? Há mais de 100 anos, eminentes cientistas afirmavam que os conhecimentos não tinham fronteiras e que cientistas e educadores precisavam realmente perseguir a interdisciplinaridade, senão a educação entraria em decadência. Eles disseram também que aprender era descobrir, fazendo projetos, resolvendo problemas. De alguma forma, na educação, exatamente o oposto aconteceu. Eu conduzi toda a minha vida de educadora perseguindo aquela utopia. Eu sabia que aquele era o caminho. Mas como fazer isso? Tudo parecia ser apenas teoria. Seria execuível. Os elementos da Avenues criaram um mapa que torna possível e próximo o que me parecia distante. Eu vou descrever a experiência que eu tive. Existe um nexo lógico e estético entre as duas imagens. A primeira tabela periódica que o cientista russo Dmitry Mendeleev desenvolveu em 1869. E a nossa tabela, que hoje constrói a lógica de introduzir competências dentro do currículo. De um lado, os elementos da tabela periódica compõem todas as complexas substâncias de tudo que existe no universo, inclusive a humanidade. Estudamos que aqueles elementos se originaram das estrelas, a vida, as pessoas, o conhecimento, tudo é herança do Big Bang. Então, todos somos parte e resultado das estrelas. Aprendemos isso nas lições de escola. Por outro lado, os Elements da Avenues expressam seus princípios, seus programas, o seu projeto por meio dessa nova tabela que abrange muitas linguagens. A inspiração científica, a representação simbólica, as conexões representam um novo universo, um novo Big Bang no campo da educação. Os elementos da Avenues são as substâncias que podem construir o conhecimento de que necessitamos agora e no futuro. Quando olho esses novos elementos, vejo uma supernova brilhando. Estrelas nascem e elas são o futuro. Essa é a experiência que eu queria contar para vocês. Há só mais uma coisa para eu comparar. Os elementos químicos não são isolados no universo, eles estão conectados. Eles agem e reagem entre si, formando múltiplas substâncias. O mesmo ocorre nos Elements da Avenues. A representação é bidimensional, mas nas salas de aula, As 4 dimensões e os elementos estão entrelaçados e são dinâmicos. Os aprendizados são uma mistura de elementos interativos e vivos. O Big Bang do currículo e da educação. Por isso vim para a Avenues, para fazer parte desse futuro. Acredito que também seja essa a motivação de vocês. Eu gostaria agora de apresentar um outro Big Bang que acontece na Cidade Jardim, onde está nascendo o nosso campus.
Boa noite. É um prazer falar sobre o campus nessa noite, um projeto em que o nosso escritório tem trabalhado de mãos dadas com a Avenues nos últimos 3 anos. Esta semana estive no campus, visitei os 8 andares do edifício e fiquei impressionado com os progressos. Tenho o prazer de dizer que estamos em dia com o cronograma. O prédio estará pronto até junho, para que os professores da Avenues possam se preparar para a chegada de seus filhos em agosto de 2018. Esse edifício, sem dúvida, terá um grande impacto sobre os horizontes da cidade de São Paulo. E terá um impacto ainda mais significativo em seus horizontes educacionais. Como arquitetos, fomos inspirados a criar espaços que intensifiquem os processos de aprendizagem. O edifício é uma releitura do seu precursor em Nova York, com a adição de grandes espaços como o teatro, o pátio coberto, as fantásticas coberturas que têm vistas espetaculares. O que me dá a sensação de estar numa plataforma de um transatlântico, mas olhando as perspectivas da cidade e o skyline de São Paulo. A luz é maravilhosa. Pesquisas nos indicam que a presença de luz natural em uma escola potencializa a aprendizagem e consideramos isso em nosso projeto. Cada série terá seu próprio andar e à medida que os alunos avançam nas séries ao longo dos anos, eles também progridem no edifício, em ambientes personalizados. O paisagismo, interior e exterior, é um destaque à parte em todo o campus. Desde o playground até as coberturas, há uma diversidade de espaços verdes presentes no edifício. O edifício está totalmente conectado com o século XXI no que diz respeito aos avanços no uso da tecnologia. Para todos nós, de Aflalo e Gasperini, essa foi uma missão desafiadora. Pensar, planejar e projetar cada detalhe a fim de desenvolver ambientes que maximizem a aprendizagem. Poucos projetos nos deram mais orgulho do que Avenues. A equipe da Avenues planeja, a partir de 2018, levar os pais para conhecerem o campus. Eu gostaria de acompanhá-los em algumas delas. Espero vê-los lá. Agora gostaria de passar a palavra a Lisa Peixoto e a John Chaleno.
Boa noite. Nós gostaríamos de fechar a apresentação desta noite com uma reflexão sobre algo realmente muito importante para nós, o senso de comunidade. A Avenues The World School valoriza profundamente a comunidade, seja ela global ou local. Isso é um diferencial da nossa escola, é uma das razões porque o acolhimento é um valor que nos norteia. Nossa esperança é que na Avenues vocês e seus filhos possam se sentir em família e em nosso campus possam se sentir em casa. Não importa o lugar do mundo em que estejam.
At Avenues São Paulo, families will be coming from over 100 different schools in dozens of cities and countries around the world. Just like our extended family in New York, we will embrace and celebrate our unique and diverse student body. Our financial assistance initiative is committed to reflecting the diversity of São Paulo. Our programs will range from community building to community outreach. We want our students to reach beyond their borders and their bubbles and to grow to be empathetic, world-wise leaders.
Passados alguns meses, podemos dizer que nós da Avenues conhecemos todos vocês muito bem. Não só trabalhamos para acolher famílias com estilos de vidas diferentes, mas também para acolher famílias que estão genuinamente envolvidas com a missão e os valores da Avenues. Foi muito especial receber que temos uma comunidade em expansão que se preocupa profundamente com a empatia, o respeito, a criatividade, a humildade, a mentalidade global, apenas para citar alguns. Não há dúvida que são esses valores que fazem com que a Avenues tenha impactado São Paulo, o Brasil e o mundo de uma forma tão intensa.
Community is also about partnership. At Avenues, we view parents as partners in the education of their children. It is through an active relationship with faculty, deans, and leadership to educate your children that makes Avenues so special. We've all heard the proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. It certainly takes a village to educate one. At Avenues, we are the village that will guide your children to become architects of lives that transcend the ordinary.
Vocês, as primeiras famílias da Avenues São Paulo, é um privilégio tê-los junto a nós para criar uma comunidade especial. Na Avenues New York, ficamos felizes em ver que as novas famílias rapidamente se tornaram embaixadores da Avenues. Eles convidaram seus amigos para compartilharem uma nova escola. O mesmo deve acontecer aqui em São Paulo. Nos próximos meses, continuaremos a admitir estudantes em cada uma das nossas séries. Esperamos conhecer muitos deles e suas famílias pelas recomendações das pessoas, de vocês mesmos. A melhor maneira de conhecer famílias é por meio das nossas famílias. Vocês podem entrar em contato comigo diretamente, trazendo recomendações de famílias que combinam com a nossa comunidade. Ter vocês como os meus embaixadores, construindo juntos a nossa escola, significa o mundo para mim.
6 years ago, there was a group of parents in New York who were in so many ways like you are today. They heard about a new school called Avenues. They got to know us just like you did, got excited just like you did, and decided Avenues would be the best school for their children. Like you, they were the first families. We thought you would enjoy meeting a few of them.
To me, the idea of my son going to a new school was exciting and an advantage. I felt that it was an opportunity to create something exciting from the ground up, a brand new facility, a facility that was wired for the 21st century, teachers who were not encumbered by old curricula, an opportunity to build new collaborations, to build new relationships with the city, and to approach things in a fresh way, in a 21st century way, in a global way.
The idea of the World School, of being a global school, was hugely important to us. The world is a global economy. You can't be just doing business in the U.S. You can't be only English speaking. You can't be only focused on one market, even if it is a large market, because the world is changing and it's changing very quickly.
It wasn't one thing just to say it's a new way of learning, or it's a new building, or it's another great private school with a great faculty. They were trying to reinvent education.
Other schools have just iteratively been creating their own school in their own town, but they didn't start with, no, let's make something that the world needs. You know, that's a very different mindset to tack on as your mission.
Avenues is sort of a different place because there's a real sense of challenging the kids to solve the problems that we've created. So it's like my kids are talking about things. Mom, there are fossil fuels. This is what's going on. And they're learning about why we all got so dependent on fossil fuels. And why don't you come up with a way that we could make solar energy easier to get to? This is like a think tank. It's brilliant, really.
Their vision for a world curriculum, their vision for independent children, children who are fearless, and children who are independent thinkers, and not just thinking, forget inside or outside the box, how about remove the box?
We went to the event and something happened to my husband and I where we loved the people involved, we loved the philosophy, and we loved the feeling of excitement of the people who were the creators of this school, the administrators that were excited about the school, and the parents who were at the event who were excited about the school.
We actually loved the fact that the school was building its history, and that we weren't wedded to a legacy that may or may not be the best option. So everyone that I encountered in that founding group was very, very open-minded. We all came from different walks of life, but we all shared one common perspective, which is we were in it for the adventure of building something new and forward-thinking and great.
And that's the most amazing thing about going to a new school, because this is how it's always been done. This is how we're going to do it now.
I think there were some friends that were like, why wouldn't you want to go to this school, that school, or the other school? And now those same people are like, well, can you talk to someone, because I can't get my kid into that school.
Being a founding family where everybody else is in that same place, I think there was a different chemistry among all of us that were part of that first class that really helped us gel. And that really, I think, helped create a sense of community among those parents.
There were several things that happened early on in the process that made you feel special because you were building something that you felt like generations after you were going to participate on.
So you feel a sense of ownership, like this is our school. It's not just my kid's school, it's our school, it's our family's school.
To the parents in São Paulo, I would say I'm envious. I would love to be in your position. I'd love to be back at day one and experience the excitement again, meeting a crop of teachers who are the best of the best, who are excited about their new mission, who are the future of education.
You will be bonded in a way around your children and their education and be part of something thrilling.
I am completely jealous. I wish I could be starting again where you are. It's something that both Lynn and I, and I'm sure our kids think back on, that we would like to be there. And if we could figure out a way to move there, we would.
So that is our program, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I want to briefly thank, two Andys tonight. First, Andy Clayman, our creative director, and his entire creative team of Fernando, Fernanda, Brian, Eric, Greg, Hanata, and Sasha for all the work they've done into creating all that you've seen tonight. No other school in the world has such a team, and it's exciting to know that they will continue to instill creative energy into our São Paulo campus, just as they've done in New York. So a big hand for our creative team. And secondly, we have Andy Williams. This is our second Andy. Andy, come on up here. This is Avenue's Global Director of Teaching and Learning, who is with us from New York. Many of you know Andy as he is specialized in giving our Brazilian parents, including about 50 of you out here tonight, personal tours of the New York campus when you visit it. So Andy, I know this is your first visit to São Paulo. We thank you for joining us. And we have parties like this just about every few weeks. So you'll enjoy yourself.
Comunidade da Avenues, obrigada novamente por estarem conosco esta noite. Amanhã vocês vão receber um e-mail com os detalhes e destaques desta noite. Espero que cada um de vocês possa aproveitar esta noite para se conhecer, compartilhar o entusiasmo de ingressar em nosso World School.